Good evening, Habs fans. Hope you're all doing well. You've been waiting for it. We finally have our first interview of the summer, and boy, what a good one we have here. Let's bring him on right away. Center number 71 for the Montreal Canadiens, Jake Evans, coming back for the second time. Jake, how's it going, buddy?
It's going well. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Right on, right on. So, how have you been this summer? What kind of interesting things have you been doing?
I don't know. I feel like it's been I guess last summer was really shortened one, and COVID was still going on. So this summer's been, I guess, a little longer and first normal one with just seeing friends, family, just catching up with everyone. And yeah, I mean, I feel like the summer's been flying by, and we're getting back into the swing of things pretty soon here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no doubt. And I was curious because, like you said, like last summer we interviewed whatever, and we talked about how short it was. It must be kind of nice. I mean, obviously not finishing where you guys did, but it must be nice to have somewhat of a reset, time to train, time to get strong, get healthy. So that must be kind of relieving in some kind of way, being a player like what you guys went through the long cup run and short summer.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's benefits of not being in for so long. Last summer, it was kind of you're playing catch up, and then you obviously need time to recover and rest last summer, but there wasn't too much time to get stronger and get back into the shape you're hoping to get into every summer. So this summer's been a lot more time to get stronger, get a little bigger, and also just relax and not have to rush things.
Pretty exciting. I mean, let's jump right into it. Like, let's not sugarcoat it. The team's going through a rebuild right now. How's it been for you going through that?
Yeah, it's I mean, it was definitely not expected this year, and I feel like I've played two full seasons now and went from one of the highs to the low. So yeah, I guess I've had both worlds, and obviously the season was not what we were hoping for, and
Mm-hmm.
it was tough. But I think in a way, especially this summer, you can kind of reflect. You can look on some of the things individually and team wise that you can build on, and hopefully start next season on the right page, and just build off certain things that went well last year.
Yeah,
So
and I guess that all started with the management overhaul, right? Bringing in Jeff Gorton, bringing in Kent Hughes. How's your relationship been with those guys?
it's been good. I don't talk to them too much. I just try and do my own thing and work hard and hopefully impress them. So I don't chat with them too much, but you can see what they're slowly doing with the team, and it
Mm-hmm.
should get fans excited. I know the players get really excited. You can see the passion that they have for the game, and they've both had such great careers before this in the hockey world, and the team's in good hands.
Mm-hmm.
And with that change, I mean, we're not gonna get into like all the firings and stuff. So maybe like take us back through because I know last year as fans, we were kind of like at the start of the year, like, okay, it's a little bit slower, and then we're like, okay, well, wait till Carey gets back. So maybe take us through like the room, like so what the start of it felt like last season was almost like three seasons in one for fans, anyways. Because I mean, like we were talking before the show started, like at one point it felt like you guys had like 12 Laval Rocket players in Tampa right before Christmas or during
Yeah.
Christmas. So maybe tell the fans like, so like, what was the vibe in the room like to start the year? Was it like, okay, let's get back to the Cup final, let's make that run again? And then like, when did you guys kind of know it was kind of going off the rails?
Um, yeah, it's a tough question. You could see it, I guess, like early on, we were just like things just weren't clicking. Guys weren't playing well, and we thought going into it, we'd be a playoff contender, a top team. Like we just made the final, so
Mm-hmm.
it was just unexpected. And I don't know if there was an exact date or anything where you realize it's not going to be the year, but we just got off to such a tough start, and like you were saying, like there was some tough injuries, and losing a guy like Shea is always hard, and um, I think it was honestly like a perfect storm for us this season, where everything that could have gone bad went bad with COVID, and I think at one point we had 15 to 20 guys that had COVID and couldn't play. Like it's at some points like that, you're just like, what can you do? Like, right? Like it's just out of our hands now. It's out of our control. But you never want to get to a point of the season where you already know it's a lost cause. So that was tough mentally. It's it's still our job, so you have to come to the rink every day and play hard. But it wasn't an ideal thing for us to be in last place pretty quickly on in the year and trying to get out of there.
Mm-hmm. And like Brando said, right, the second part of the season, I'd say, I mean, the Habs became the most electric last place team in the league. Like, as soon as Martin St. Louis was hired, it seemed that the a switch was flipped right away. How was that transition for you?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, the first day he came in, you obviously know all of his accomplishments in hockey and as a player, and you can just see, again, as a player, like he just had so much passion for the game, so much compete, and so much love for it. So it's pretty cool when a hockey legend comes in is going to be coaching you, and his energy just helped the team so much. I think it helped a lot of players, I guess, just reset, a new look on things, and just try and almost, yeah, like you were saying, it's like 3 seasons, and that felt like the start of a new season for us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that helped a lot of players out. They kind of found their grooves, like guys like Cole. He hit the reset button hard and was the Cole everyone knows. And so it was just this new energy around the rink, and we kind of just put that one half season, in the back pocket, and then we tried to move on and end the season well for the fans and for us individually.
And so I have to ask about Marty there quickly. We've heard rumblings of a certain speech. I know you can't get into the details. Chris Weidman recently was talking about it. Like, people left the room a changed person almost, goosebumps everywhere. What can you tell us about that speech?
Yeah, I like I was saying, like it was just one for us. It was just a huge reset, and he just brought this energy that he wanted. It's like he wanted to be out there and help us get out of it, and he had so much passion and was so excited to be the coach of the Montreal Canadiens, and just you could just feel that from him. And when we left that room, like everyone just wanted to get on the ice or run through a wall for each other and just start winning hockey and having fun again. So. I think his main message was get back to having fun, and he knows that we're all really good hockey players, and it's tough when you start the season so poorly and confidence is so low. So he just wanted to reset for everyone and just get back to having fun.
So, like, did you guys find it weird at all? I mean, I know some of the media kind of played it up. They're like, oh, this guy goes from coaching like Bantam comp to NHL, the Montreal Canadiens head coach. Like, do you guys like rib Marty at all for that or anything, or no?
No, not really. I think for him it was just different. But when you're coaching those kids, you're not thinking of, I don't know, line matchups or benchings and stuff like that. It's a little different. But he knows hockey. He's so he is such a knowledgeable person about the game, and he sees things completely differently. And I think he's helped so many people. Just his knowledge of hockey, really, it's incredible. And so I don't think guys really cared where he came from, because I mean, he's a
nobody did. It seemed like
player and so much skill with him.
It just seemed like the media cared way too much. Like, oh, he's got no experience. Like, the guy's played like 1,000 games in the league. Like, he's won all of the trophies. Like, give him a chance. The guy obviously knows what he's doing. And because you alluded to Cole turning around too. We know Jeff Petrie just got traded. I know you were good buddies with the Petrie family as well. He turned it around as well. I was really happy for him, because I hated seeing how that first half of the season went. But maybe just talk, like, because we know Petrie's gone to the Pittsburgh Penguins, and we know he used to babysit and stuff for them. Maybe just talk about Petrie and what he meant to the team.
Yeah, him and his whole family they're just great people. He's obviously, he's a dad of 4 now, but he was almost like a dad on our team too, and always taking care of guys, always looking out for them, and just such a great person. So yeah, it was hard seeing him first half of the year. You could just I mean, no one was really having fun, but it showed with him a little bit, and it was tough to see, because he's such a great person, and he's, when you see him on his game, I think he's one of the best defensemen in the league too. So that's, it's part of the business, losing good friends like that, but that's a tough one.
Yeah. I mean, another fan favorite we lost to the rebuild there was Artturi Lehkonen, who, went on to lift the cup there. Did you really follow that cup run for Colorado?
Oh yeah, for sure. It was fun watching obviously Lecky do well. Like I loved watching Toffoli play in Calgary, even Kulak with Edmonton. It was fun seeing those guys because they're all really good people, and then you want them to succeed too. So really happy for Lecky. I wasn't too shocked that they made it all the way. They were a great team before, and then they picked up him, and I think he's one of the most underrated players in the league. He's so good at all the small things, and I think every single player on our team wanted to play with him. Like, he was the guy because he made everyone better around him.
For sure.
Yeah, and then like when Nate McKinnon says like he wants Lehkonen on his line, Lecky's gonna be set.
Yes.
And now Lehkonen got paid, so
Yeah,
he's probably pretty happy.
From me.
I know, Shane, you had a couple questions there, especially about Toffoli that Jake just mentioned too.
Yeah, I mean, I know you were close with Tyler, even Ryan Paling, who's included in that Petrie trade. Like, even though you're still with the team, thankfully, hopefully for a long time, but seeing all those friends leave, even though you say it's a part of the business, it must still kind of a dagger to the heart almost, eh?
Yeah, it's I mean, I guess this year it was more, you could see it coming. Like, I knew there was a pretty high chance, and Tyler would tell me there's a good chance I'm probably getting shipped out. Same with Jeff too, obviously. So you kind of start to expect them, and I guess it's a little easier to swallow, but it's always hard because we don't all live in the same city in the off season, so it's hard to see these guys. And Tyler's in LA, and Jeff's in Michigan, so it's just weird. You're used to seeing them every day and going for dinners on the road and stuff, and then now you're gonna see them 2 to 3 times a year for a quick dinner, and that's it. So it's a tough part of the business, and yeah, it sucks to see those guys go, but they're happy where they're at now, so it's good to see.
I remember I saw a picture on social media not too long ago. It was showing like the Habs team when you guys won the conference finals, and then like the team now, and it's like half of them, if not 3/4 of them, are all gone now. So we were kind of wondering. So with this like roster turnover, I know you guys haven't been in the dressing room in a while, but like, is there some core leaders that are still there that you can think of right off the bat? I mean, we know like Webby's gone now. We knew he wasn't going to play last year anyways, but Jeff's gone. Like there's some gap in that leadership void. Do you see some of the guys stepping up?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's one of the positives you can take out of a year like that is it pushes guys to take on bigger roles and become better leaders, better players. So guys like Nick Suzuki, I think he's just a born leader. He's always doing the right things. He's always playing as hard as he can, and he doesn't let pressure get to him too much. He's always on the right track. So he's a guy that can really step up. And then there's guys like Galley there that again, just a born leader and a great teammate and always looking out for people. And yeah, there's a bunch of guys that some will step up, some are still there, and it's just when you're going through a rebuild, it's time for guys to go up the ladder and get out of their comfort zone and just become better players and people.
Yeah, and like, since Shea obviously likely to retire, but now he got traded, so officially no longer with the team, and then Petrie just got traded, so there's kind of a void here with the letters, right? The leadership group is likely going to be rebuilt. Kent said that there's going to be a captain announced. I'm not going to put you on the spot and ask you who you think it is going to be, but you were captain with Notre Dame, right? So would you see yourself maybe wearing a letter someday?
I mean, I obviously I think every player would love to. It's for me, I really enjoyed that experience at Notre Dame, and it's an honor, and it's like I was saying, it kind of pushes you to become a better person and better teammate, and I really enjoy those types of challenges. And I think a lot of guys on our team could be leaders and could wear letters, though, to be honest with you. Like, there's a lot of great guys in that dressing room. On
a lighter side, though, since Lecky's gone, who's going to be the class clown with Galley? Are you going to jump in there, be the right-hand man?
I get in there a little bit. Like, what Lecky and Galley had was a lot. I don't think anyone could ever replace that. So I think Galley's still trying to recruit someone to screw around with, and but I'm in Galley's carpool now, so try and fill in that role.
Oh yeah,
very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this season was one to forget for the most part, but I felt like you had some standout moments. I got to single out that goal against the Kings there, where you just put that defenseman. I mean, he was in another planet there for a sec. But coming into next season, is there like any skills, any kind of tricks you want to show off, or what are your expectations there coming into next
just wait
season?
a sec, because no, Jake last
Kind of cut out there, Brando.
summer said he's not going to toe drags and make the smart. And then I go LA does that.
Yeah.
Went back on your word.
Yeah, I don't really
back
know
on your
what
word.
happened with that goal. It was I guess I just tried to toe drag and it worked, and then I wanted to I don't know what I was doing. I put myself in the spin cycle there too, and it was pretty funny though. The goal was against my college roommate Cal Peterson, so he had to call me out saying the nicest goal he'll ever score was of course against me. So it's pretty funny.
I love that. That was sweet. But so going into this year, is there like Shane was alluding to, is there certain things you're focusing on this summer, or where you want to improve, or where Marty maybe said, hey, I maybe want you to see you do this or that?
Yeah, well, for me, it's you know, I know every player says it, but it's obviously getting stronger, and for me, I'm a little bit on the lighter side, so trying to gain some weight, being harder to play against, and then for me, a big thing would just be face-offs too. Is obviously strength's a big part of that, but I think just getting the reps and the practice, and you know, having that confidence and just feeling comfortable out there is huge, and like to be a really strong face-off guy next year too. So you're always trying to get better in every aspect with your shot and your skating and everything, but just, you know, a few smaller things that you know, to pinpoint.
Now, if you were to give a tiny prediction here, who are some guys you think could have like a big step up next season, who really break out?
Trying to think. I mean, there's a lot of guys that will jump in there, and I think Cole's just going to keep getting better and better. I think Nick's going to keep getting better and better. We've got some really good D-men too with Barron, Harris, just a lot of really good players that once they start getting more reps and getting more games in, especially with the younger D-men, they're going to be really good players and really tough to play against. So guys like that, and then like I was saying, I think Cole and Nick are just always going to keep getting better and better.
And the thing too is, I noticed like under Marty, you could definitely see there's like more offense, more speed, more room to play, which I found kind of suited your game. I thought you played real well near the end there. And now with a lot of those guys gone, like, are you going to try to like embrace that, like go-to shutdown? No, I can't say shutdown because you got some offense to the game too, but like being that D zone starter, the big PK guy, like, is that the role you see yourself in? Like, that's where you want to be with the Habs?
Yeah, I'd love to be. Like I love those roles. I love taking big draws. You know, I want to be a big part of the penalty kill, and you know, be a top, have one of the top percentages in the league too with that. So those are two things I take a lot of pride in. But you know what? I just like to play, and I'll play anywhere and whatever line, whatever spot. I'm just happy to be playing.
Well, at one point last year, you'll probably remember. Do you remember when you took that clapper from like almost the point and picked top corner? I was advocating for Jake Evans on the power play. So,
we'll see. I've been advocating too for a while. It hasn't happened yet, but yeah, we'll see. Maybe the slap shot, I got to work on that a little more, and yeah, maybe put me at the point. Who knows? But yeah, I've been trying to get on the power play for my whole pro career, so I don't know if that's going to change much.
Make it happen, Burrows. If you're watching, make it happen. So coming back to the beginning of last season, there was one major headline, was the return of Jonathan Drouin, right? With all that he'd been through, coming back and even scoring in that first game, electric. I mean, I got a chance to be there. It was phenomenal. Now this season, again, he went through adversity. Last season, getting hurt, coming back again this season. How motivating is it to have a guy like that in the dressing room?
Yeah, he's such a skilled player, and a great guy, great teammate. So you know, you're always hoping for none of your teammates to go out with injuries or other things. So I'm really looking forward to him, you know, hopefully having a a full season. He's just a really skilled player. He can do some crazy things with the puck. He makes some great passes, and yeah, just a really talented player.
I gotta piggyback off that actually. Carey Price coming back. How was that the first couple games there? I know he didn't get his win right away there, but the last game of the year, like how was it getting a guy like Pricey back in the dressing room?
Yeah, it's. I mean, he's one of those guys that when you see him on the ice, you just want to play for him and not give him as many shots or as not give him a lot of shots because yeah, he's just a guy you want to play for. He's one of the best goalies ever, and he's such a great teammate and such a great person, and he's a guy you can really look up to. And when he made that comeback, I think it was against the Islanders. I remember we dominated the game, and guys wanted to win for him so badly. We just could not score a goal in that game, but we played really well, and a lot of that was for him, and to get a little success back in his game.
Mm-hmm. Now, one of the most exciting times for Habs fans this summer was obviously the draft, right? Being in Montreal, having the first overall pick, but then there was a big trade, right? Romanov for Kirby Dach, essentially. Did you follow the draft? Like, were you glued to the TV there?
Yeah, I was watching it. It was crazy. It was like nonstop action, and the Habs were involved in it a little bit. So it was fun to watch. Of course, I mean, everyone would have known that draft in Montreal is going to be crazy, and with us having the first pick, it was even crazier. So it was fun to watch. It was cool to see Marty go up there and address the crowd. And the first pick was, I think it surprised people in a way a little bit. I don't know, but I don't.
Did you guys know?
Kids are pretty young, so what's that?
Did you guys know?
Oh, I didn't have a clue. No. No. So it's crazy how young they are now. Like people ask me, who are these kids? I'm like, I don't know. They're 8 years younger than me now, so I've never heard of them really. So I'm excited. I heard this Uri guy is going to be great, and he's a big boy, and I'm sure he's going to have a really good career.
I know at one point when I imagine you saw it, that whole exercise bike video. I remember running. I remember running to my wife, and I was like, "This kid's 18. Look at this freak."
I know. Yeah, it's crazy to me that they're 8 years younger than me, and they're 18 years old, and it looked like he broke that bike there. So good for him. I won't be doing that, but he seems like a bit of a freak athlete too.
Mm-hmm. So throughout your career so far, I mean, you've had plenty of wingers on your sides there. Has there been a few that really stood out to you saying like, oh my God, I love playing with this dude?
A lot of guys. Like I was saying, Lucky is one of my favorite guys to play with. I love playing with Paul Byron's. I love his speed. Galley's a fun guy to play with because you just know where he's going to be most of the time. I feel like I played with every single guy on the team this year. They're all, once you're in the NHL, like they all bring some sort of amazing skills, and they all have a lot of assets so I enjoy playing with everyone, but guys like Lecky, Galley, Paulie were some of my favorites.
Galley's gonna drag you into the fight too, because every whistle that's in the offensive zone, he's gonna
hilarious. Yeah. Him and Pizzetta, when I'm playing with them, I'm ready for once the whistle goes to get in the crease and just. I try not to start throwing punches, but sometimes you just take an inadvertent punch to the face from them.
Oh man,
I was gonna just quickly, because you brought it up, Pizzetta this year. I mean, I know you played with him in Laval, and then you saw him slowly take over like the Habs fan base as like a fan favorite, because the guy will go out there, he'll fight, he'll hit, he'll do whatever to get the puck. You got one in off his face, but so how's Pizzetta this year? Was it fun watching him go around?
Oh, it was awesome. Like I played two years in Laval with him, and especially the second year, he was, he's not playing much, fourth line, and getting scratched a lot of games. So he's always a great guy, and I knew he's always a good player. It's just a tough position for him. And then I know last year was still, with COVID, was a little challenging, but he came in, he just kept working and working and working. Like it's hard not to like a guy like that when he's got so much drive, and he just came into camp, and like I was shocked at how well he was doing. Like he was struggling before, and he just came in and shocked a lot of people, and his effort, and like you were saying, like he'll fight anyone, he'll protect anyone. That's a hard player to find. So I'm really proud of him for coming from where he was a few years ago and being in the NHL and signing a nice deal too a couple weeks ago. It's really cool to see.
Yeah, and a guy who has a similar story would be Rem Pitlick, right? Claimed off waivers and quickly became a fan favorite. How's it been playing with that guy?
Yeah, he's another guy. It's a lot of fun to play with him. He's he just loves hockey. He's a bit of a hockey nerd. Like that's all he'll think about. And yeah, he's a really fun player to play with. He's skilled, smart, has a really good stick, and another guy you're kind of surprised to the way you get him on waivers, and you're like, who's this guy? And he just came in and had an immediate impact and showed all of his skills off, and was a great player.
And he kind of reminds you of like the Paul Byron situation, because the same thing happened with Paul Byron from Calgary off the waivers, and then I think some fans were kind of getting worried when he wasn't getting signed there, and then obviously with this cap and everything, it's just kind of waiting to see what's going on. But this offseason, I mean, we know Montreal's made some moves, so like going into next season, like are you guys fired up? Are you guys looking forward to it? Like what's the vibe? Or I know we're still a couple months away. You're still probably in summer mode, but
yeah, I'm starting to get really excited about this upcoming season. I think forward wise, we've still got a decent chunk of guys that we started with last year, and I was really excited to have that. Like I really think our forward group's got a lot of depth and a lot of great players, and D wise, we've got some good guys that have been in the league for a while, but then there's some younger kids that I think are ready to step up and be really good players. So it's exciting. Every year you go in hoping for the best, but I think we've got a lot of younger players that could surprise a lot of people, and I think we could be a really good team.
Yeah. So I mean, new management has brought in a bunch of new people, right? And a theme that we've been seeing here is emphasis on analytics and advanced stats. Do the players actually look hard into that and put value into analytics?
I don't personally. I don't even know where you find them. But if there is, I would respect it if someone came up to me and showed me some analytics where I could get better or I'm doing well in, and would be nice to know. But no, I don't search hard for it. I don't know. I really don't know if other players do, but I don't even really know where you'd find some of these. I don't know what they mean, half of them. So I don't understand what the Corsi number is or really. So yeah.
But it's got to be exciting though. We know Marty came in that dire situation. I mean, like you guys said, you guys were down. He just kind of picked you guys up. It's got to be kind of refreshing for how you guys kind of ended the season, and then knowing you have him, his coaching staff, the way he wants to do camp, the way he wants to start things. As a player, it's kind of because he seems like a player's coach, but not like too far of a player's coach, if you know what I mean. So it must be kind of exciting too.
Yeah, it's. I think you could see it last year, like we were saying, the second half, or once Marty took over, it was, you saw a lot of guys get a lot better. And as a team, I think, even we weren't winning all the games, but we were in a lot of games, and I think the games were a lot more entertaining. And as a player, you're feeling better about yourself, and your confidence is growing. So to start the year with Marty and have a full season with him is going to be great for a lot of guys. And I'm honestly just really excited to see where we can go with that.
So I know you're a center, right? You don't really deal with the defense or the defensive coach, but you just lost Luke Richardson, who did step up as head coach during the playoffs, was a big part of the team there, who went to go coach for Chicago. All the best to him. We love them. But now you hire Rabida there. So what do you know about him? Like, are you going to be dealing with him at all?
But, I don't know what his full role will be. He might be in the penalty kill because that's what Luke was doing. I don't really know, but what I know from him is I just watched him growing up and was a big fan. So it's exciting. We've got all four of our coaches have played a lot of games in the NHL and have a lot of passion for teaching and coaching and just helping us out. So yeah, it's really exciting.
I think that most people kind of noticed it too was you talked about it earlier, like with Cole, and it was like that one game where I think Cole missed a shot and you saw Marty talk to him. It was one of the first couple games, and then Cole started going right after that. It,
Hmm.
was it a big change between like Ducharme and Marty, just like different approaches, or like or how Marty kind of focused on development or puck possession? Like, was it much of a change?
Uh, a little bit. I think it's more just like we were saying. It's more of just that reset and that energy that guys just whatever you had with Dom, I guess, is out the window, and it's a new coach, and um, Marty's starting from scratch, and everyone's got a fresh slate. So I think that helped a lot of guys that were slumping in the first half of the season, and that's a big thing for everyone. Is that mental side of hockey is huge, and when you can reset like that, and when there's a lot more energy in the room, it's going to help you out.
Yeah. I'd like to echo a comment we saw not too long ago from Dan there saying we brought in Marie-Philippe Poulin, without a
Hmm.
doubt, the greatest female hockey player ever.
Yeah.
And on top of that, Vincent Lecavalier, who, again, Hall of Famer caliber, like this guy was
Hmm.
nuts. So have you gotten a chance to deal with them at all yet?
No, not yet. But yeah, I love watching Poulin and all the women's tournaments. She's just unbelievable. She's so good, and obviously the top player. So it's great to have great hockey minds in the game, and that can help you, get out of your comfort zone and think outside the box. And yeah, like I was saying, our whole coaching staff, and add in Poulin and Le Cavalier. It's really cool to learn from them, and they're gonna help out a lot of us, and get out of our comfort zone and grow as players.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious. Like we know, obviously, goals for next season. It's obviously win games, make playoffs, and stuff like the cliche answers. But like more on a personal level, is there any goals for you? Like is there a certain stat you look at, or is there something that you're circling this year that you really want to get to?
Um, I I try not to, because I just think it puts a little more stress on points for me, at least with that stuff. Like I don't obviously when you score, you probably played a little better, but I don't look at points as much as I want to get points, obviously, but I don't look at it as if I'm playing well. And so I don't try and set any goals or numbers to get to for a season. You obviously want to improve every year. And then I think the only stat I might want to get or have a goal with would be face-offs, just being, a little bit over 50% at least. And like I was saying, just being a really strong player in that area of the game. And so that's probably the one number I'd like to really, boost up.
Mm-hmm. So we have a co-host here on the show. His name's Damon. He was a big fan of yours ever since the Notre Dame days. Like he's been
Mhm.
following you, and he begged us to ask about that 2018 run there. Frozen Four, that
Mhm.
3-second goal there between
Yeah.
Quinn Hughes, right, to get to the finals. How was
Yeah.
that whole experience like for you?
It was amazing. My whole college experience was really good for me. It's I think if I went to the major juniors in the CHL, I would have struggled for a little bit. I was immature, thin, tiny kid that would just get smoked out there. So it was good for me to take some time and then go enjoy that college experience and grow up a lot there. And that last year run was cool because I'm obviously graduating and hoping to go pro. So it's, one last kick at the can, and it's with 20, 25 of your brothers that you're going to class with, you're living with all the time, you're doing everything together. And yeah, we just had a really fun run at the end of the year. I think our last like 5 or 6 games, we either won with a minute left or in overtime every time. So
Yeah.
we were one goal short of winning a national championship, and but it was the furthest our programs made it, so it was still a really cool run.
Mm-hmm.
And that's interesting too. So, because there's a fair amount of you guys now in Montreal that went the college road. I mean, you, Cole, Harris, Schoeneman. I know
Yeah,
he's kind of up and down, but
yeah.
so like, is there like, so did you kind of like help out like when Harris came up at the end of the season? Like, was there like, hey, like we're kind of familiar, same kind of come up. Like, did you help him out a
Yeah.
bit when he came up?
I chatted with him a lot, and you know, we made sure he was out for dinners with us too. But I think hockey-wise, I knew he was a really good player, and he was in a different boat than me too. One, he's obviously a defenseman,
Yeah.
but he came right from college right into the NHL, where I was in Laval for 2 full years basically before I got my chance. So I'm sure other guys really stepped in and helped him out there, but I kind of just, you know, made friends with him, and then that was about it.
One thing about being a student athlete that's always fascinated me is like the student part of it, right?
Yeah.
Being in class and did you ever get like recognized, like someone said, "Hey, that's Jake Evans from the hockey team"? Like,
no, not at Notre Dame. It's like hockey there is probably the third most important sport there. Like football, a religion there, and
there's
the
a movie
football
about it.
players.
Yeah.
I'd be the guy pointing like, "Hey, that's this guy."
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that wouldn't really happen. It's a cool school. It's pretty small, so you get to know a lot of your class, and yeah, but nothing like that. And the school part was tough enough where I had to somewhat focus and dial it in instead of looking around the class.
And that's the thing too. Like a lot of like because the CHL, they're not really in school all that much, whereas college, and I don't know, it might just be me, but it feels like there's a lot more. I don't know if it's the USNDP or if it's like just the college in the States. It seems like there are some great hockey players coming out of the college in the States.
Yeah, I every kid I would talk to, I really recommend going to college. Everyone has their own path and everything, but I think you can't go wrong going to college. You grow up so much, you develop a lot, you're in the gym a lot, and I think at that age it's a huge thing to be working out a lot, and you still, you know, hockey wise, you're on the ice every day. It's great hockey. It's you know, playing in 5,000 seat arenas that are packed with just mainly students. It's an incredible environment. So yeah, it's just like college hockey for me is awesome, and I think you're seeing it now in the NHL that a lot of great players are coming from the U.S. national team and then going to schools. But yeah, they're doing it well there, I think.
Yeah. Would it be would the lesser amount of games kind of play a factor in that? Like, I know you didn't play CHL, but I mean,
yeah,
there's a vastly different amount of games. No,
yeah, I like I'm saying, I think it's different for. I think everyone has their own route, and it works out for people in the CHL all the time, obviously. But for certain people, I think they do need to spend less time on the ice and more time working out and like just growing up. Like, I needed to grow up a lot, and that was huge for me. Living on my own, laundry, time, like just time management. You know, figuring out food for myself, and just all that stuff. I think is huge to mature. And then once you get to pros, you know, I think you're a little more ready and a little more mature than guys that are a little younger coming out of the CHL and have, you know, we're living with billets usually for the most part, and that we're doing most of the cooking and cleaning and all that stuff.
You know, one thing I love hearing about NHL players is their welcome to the NHL moment type of thing. Did you have that? Like, what was your welcome to the NHL moment?
I would say just before the game when I found out I was playing with Kovalchuk and Domi, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, all right, I'm really in the NHL now. So, we'll see how long that lasts, but yeah, I think that was and then my first shift, I got a breakaway too. So, yeah, so I think just that whole 20-minute span basically was wild.
And speaking on Kovalchuk, sorry, Brando, but like he's a lot of our generation's idol. Like he was revered. This guy. So was, you know, Sid and Ovi. Hasn't been playing against, you know, legends like that, you know?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things about the NHL is you get to play against guys you grew up watching, like Ovechkin, Crosby, just a lot of really amazing players and guys that you wanted to be, and now you're taking a face off against them or trying to shut them down. It's really cool. And then also just playing with them, like guys like Carey, Webby, even Galley too. Like you grew up watching them, and it's just a really, really great experience to be in the NHL and compete against them or be on the same team with them.
So I remember when Dale and I talked to you last summer, you didn't really get to experience the NHL because you had what 13
Yeah.
games, and then that
Mhm.
season they got shut down. And then I know the first kind of quarter of the season was kind of weird, but how was it actually? Like, because Dale said like the California trips, the
Yeah.
being able to go to restaurants, and so
Mhm.
did you actually get to finally see what the NHL had to offer this year? Was it fun?
Yeah, and it was awesome. It was, just road trips are a great team bonding experience where you're just going for dinners with all the guys and going to nice restaurants and just going to really cool cities and enjoying the city. Like I remember we were in Nashville just for a night and we just walked around Broadway Street. It's just a really cool city to just walk around. And then same with even Vegas too. You're obviously not going around going crazy there, but you're just walking around like I've never been. It was we went last year, but we weren't allowed to leave our hotel, so just getting to walk around and enjoy the city is really cool.
Nashville's awesome. It's one of
Yeah.
the best cities ever.
Yeah.
What about Seattle? I mean, Seattle's the first year they're in the league there. How was that experience like? How's the arena there? It looks
The
insane.
arena's sick. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I don't remember it too much, but I just know all brand new and the atmosphere there was electric and yeah, it's a great city. It's a beautiful city too. So that whole West Coast trip, it's just nonstop beautiful cities and nice weather. So it's a great trip.
Where'd you guys end up doing rookie party this year?
We
Was
were
it
in
was it West,
Vancouver.
wasn't it? Vancouver.
Vancouver, yeah.
'Cause I remember
That
some of
was
the
fun.
boys flew out for that one because like
What's that?
Drew and all. Didn't they say like Drew and a bunch of guys flew out for it or whatever?
Yeah, we had
So
the whole
some
team
guys were
there, which
injured.
was fun. Yeah, we had a bunch of injuries, and I think it was 5 or 6 guys that flew out for it, and yeah, we just had a great day.
So I remember like I was talking to somebody and they're like XYZ's flying out to Vancouver. And we knew they were hurt and couldn't practice. Like, what are they
Yeah.
doing? I was like, most likely a rookie party.
Yeah, yeah, we did it. Like I'm not going to get into any details, but it was a fun
Yeah.
day, and it's a good thing to do and get everyone a little bit closer and just having fun together.
Those outfits were hilarious though, like the scuba diving ones or whatever.
Yeah, I had to wear that. That was nice.
There seemed
Won't
to
be
be
wearing that ever again.
Yeah, there seemed to be quite a few like get-togethers. I won't call them parties, but like throughout the season. I mean, Halloween there was one, or everyone was just like dressed up in the '70s. Or correct me
Yeah.
if I'm wrong, but who
Yeah.
would organize those?
I think it's a mixture of a lot of guys. Like, I think Jake Allen organizes a bunch of things. Edmondson does it a bunch of times too. More the older guys, but yeah, I think it switches and our guys just get chatting and start thinking of fun ways to get obviously the players together outside the rink, and then get all the wives and girlfriends too together, and let them meet all the players too, and just those are always some of the best nights for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to say thanks again for jumping on. I know it's about 45 minutes now. Shano, do you have any other questions here?
I mean, since you've been in Montreal for a few years now, like what's been a standout in Montreal? Like if you were to recommend a spot or something for someone's visiting, like what would it be?
I can't. I'm not going to single out one restaurant or spot, but I think just all of Old Montreal is such a great spot to walk around in, and there's so many great restaurants there. It's such a cool historic place, and we lived out there last year, and my girlfriend and I, and we would just love our walks. It's such a beautiful spot. And, so that's, and then I mean, for me, one major thing that stands out about Montreal is just the passionate fans. Honestly, they're the best in the league, and they just care the most, and they get hockey, and it's a really cool thing. I think is just how passionate and knowledgeable they are, I guess.
Yeah.
Just quickly, that made me think. Last game of the year, scoring the 10 goals, the Guy Lafleur thing,
Yeah.
the Bell Center for being a 32nd place team. That must have been incredible. That last game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, that, and I tell people, obviously we had a tough season, and it's hard, it's easy for fans to not be as bought in or to go to the games or just be as loud. And every time we played there, it was so much fun. It was so loud, and it really does help the team out. And it's just such a cool venue. It's like everyone I talk to, I'm like, there's nothing that even compares to the Bell Center. So the last game was obviously almost weird how we, of course, got 10 goals and the whole Guy Lafleur thing, but it was a really cool moment, and the crowd was, again, just going nuts, and it was a good way to end a tough season.
Cole's hat trick got me out of shotgunning a beer with
God.
Dale's brother. So I bet over 22.5 goals, and he got 23
really?
with the hat trick. Yeah. I was texting capital letters to him saying, "You suck," and I won. But no,
yeah,
Jake.
Cool. It was, he had a really good game then.
Yeah. But no, I just wanted to thank you again. This is our first reoccurring guest. We really appreciate it. Nothing but the best for this year. Hope you have good summer training, stay healthy, and kill it next year. Look forward to watching it.
All right. Yeah.
Right
Thanks,
on.
guys. Yeah. Enjoy the rest of the summer.
All right,
Thank you,
Jake. Thank you. Here we are.
What a guy.
The first interview of the off season over. Happy to have the
Starting
guys
it.
back on.
Yeah. I feel like we're gonna get a few more returning guests here. Okay.
Yes.
Not naming any names, but we have a summer stacked here. Well, the end of the summer because we started late. But anyways, we're starting nonetheless and got off on the right foot here. The Jake Evans, I think he's gonna tear it up this season. I'm so confident. He's got it. He really has it. Like the two-way game, everything about him. I don't know. I love it.
Oh, absolutely. And he's one of those guys you can't help but cheer for. I mean, he plays a great two-way game. I think he's got a little bit more offense in him than what he's shown.
Sure.
And he's got great speed, but also like he's one of the older players on the team now, and he's only been in the league for a couple of years. But just one of those guys, like 7th round pick, grinded a couple of years in the A, finally got into the NHL, and it's just really fun watching him.
Agreed. And I think we're going to have more stories like that. I mean, you look like a guy like Harvey Pinard, and Nick had the privilege of working with him even just today, but he's a guy that I'm really watching. I think he's going to progress very well. I'm excited to see what he can bring, but you know what, for it being like a development year next year, I'm pumped. I don't know about you, but I feel like we're going to get some fireworks. We're going to get some real like guys are going to explode out of nowhere, guys you don't expect. So it's going to be a fun season. I have no doubt about that.
Oh, absolutely. And as fans too, it's once you recognize that, hey, it's kind of like it's a learning season, and whatever happens. It's going to be fun watching Marty and Burrows and Robida and Cavalier. I know Cavalier is not coaching on the bench, but it's going to be fun watching them kind of groom and / develop these young guys with Carey Price, Jake Allen, Edmondson helping along, Josh Anderson. No, I'm really looking forward to the season. And then we also have this guy who might make the team, little Slavsquatch.
Oh, baby.
Slavskovsky. So if you guys want to go to habstonight.net, we have these shirts on sale, new hats, everything's up on the shop. So make sure you visit habstonight.net, subscribe to the YouTube channel. But no, I'm happy to get back into these interviews, Shano.
For sure. Good stuff to come, guys. Stay tuned. Click that notification bell because you're going to get some alerts. You're going to see some pretty big names on here. Watch out. Habs Tonight is a place to be this summer. Trust me.
Absolutely. All right, fans. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for taking part in the chat. We appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button. We'll see you soon with some more interviews. We got some more coming.
All right. Take care, guys.
Cheers.